So let me introduce you the star of today. Is the Chief Operating Officer of Retail Group, Melinda Ngai.
We collect this stuff.
Yeah.
就要平安夜，苹果影子都不见，我精心装扮的脸，只是给了你的面，画成红唇烟熏柳叶眉，你猜我今晚去见谁的圣诞节？我变身之后挑与谁最美？给我三分颜色，真的给你。
Right, good afternoon. I hope you like one of our brand video on the screen. It actually generated 110 million views and 500 million reach earlier this year in China. Today I want to share with you the digital transformation journey at A.S. Watson. But I want to first of all make it very clear that I'm not trying to share with you a plan that we just came up with yesterday. I'm not trying to share with you a plan that we recently came up with and in the process of finding a team to implement it. In fact, we have been implementing our digital transformation plan since year 2012. And this has helped us to deliver the growth and deliver the profitability you have been seeing since 2012, despite the very volatile trading environment. Now, this is not new to you. You are aware that we are the largest international health and beauty retailer. But what is important is that in today's world, not only scale is important. Our uniqueness is the geographic coverage that we have for A.S. Watson. Now, we have 14,000 stores, which you already know, but we cover 4,000 cities. And in these 24 operating markets that we are in, we are number one in 15 of them, first of all. And actually, in terms of the opportunities, we are covering 2.4 billion of population, and this represents 32% of the world population. So this is the kind of growth potential that we have. Now, the other thing is a lot of these markets that we operate in, they have very favorable demographics for the products that we sell. They have a growing young population, which, as you know, is very high growth customer segment. So what do we sell? When I say it's high growth, when I said we target at the younger customer in the world. So these are some of the products we sell: cosmetics, skincare, personal care, health, and well-being. As you know, these are categories which has high growth, and they're quite prudent growth, and the growth comes from both volume growth as well as retail price growth. And a lot of these categories are also going to more premiumization. So this creates a great opportunity for us. We are also the fastest growing retailer in the world. We open one new store every 7 hours. So by the time you leave the room, we should have opened 2.5 stores today. So on that, meaning that every year we open 1,300 stores. Now, but the most important is that we are not just opening or building physical store. We're using this network and we are building customer connectivity. I'll try to illustrate a little bit more as I go along. We are connecting a lot of quality customers. Just now you have already seen these figures, 130 million members. Now I just want to tell you also that 85 million of them are paid members. So in Asia, except in Hong Kong, customers have to pay about $20 to $30 Hong Kong to be a members. So you can understand the quality of those. We don't have a KPI about customer acquisition cost. So they pay to be members. And they represent 62% of our sales. To just put a little bit into context, 130 million means that we are the 10th populated country in the world, just a little bit ahead of Mexico. So we are the largest active retail loyalty member base in the world. Now, what I want to share with you on this slide is when we talk about digital transformation, what are we trying to transform into? Now, traditionally, for retailers, it's very simple. You have the manufacturers developing the product, they push it to you, and then you have stores, you merchandise it. Of course, you need supply chain and a little bit of marketing, and there you go, you have a retail store or you have a retail business. But this is not what the customer needs today, and this is not sustainable. So what we have been building ourselves into is this. Because for the customer today, they don't only just want the products, they want transactions, they want interactions, they want customer experience. So to actually build a sustainable retail business, you need to provide O+O experience, you need to create stories around your product, you need analytics to help you to make smarter decisions and do personalizations. You need social analytics, social listening to understand what people are talking about your products or your brand on social media. We have massive amount of data, so you also need technology to manage your data, so on and so forth. So meaning that what we have been trying to do since 2012 is to transform ourselves to just focus on transactions to focusing on interactions. Now again, the importance of focusing on interactions, it brings us repeat customers. And that's how you sustain growth, or how we sustain growth. And I've already mentioned about our member base and also how much they contribute to our sales. I talked about customer connectivity earlier. Just to illustrate and visualize it using the China example. We have 3,300 stores in 460 cities. Now this penetration helps us to build the branding, and currently we have 65 million members, again, paid members. And they represent over 80% of our sales. This is the kind of quality members that we have. Now we have beauty advisors in our store, about 20,000 of them. And we are changing their role as well. That's part of the transformation. They are not just our colleagues working in the store. We are using their network. Every one of them, on average, have 500 friends. So currently, they are also promoting the company's products and promotions to their friends. And we have created an app for them, which I can demonstrate later on. And we also have our social media app, and we have 55 million fans. And very importantly, we have our own network of key opinion leaders. They're like the bloggers. A lot of the companies in China, they do it through agencies. But we have been building our own network for a couple of years now. So these KOLs help us to promote our own exclusive product as well as our branding. So this is a kind of connectivity that I'm referring to, is what we have been transforming ourselves. Now you probably think, why do you start your digital transformation back in 2012? If you recall, in 2010 is the year when the social media revolution starts. So Dominic called up all the country management, and we sat in the room and started to talk to ourselves, okay, what does that mean to our business? It means that we have to really stay very close to them, because with that kind of social media and digital revolution, it can have a lot of change and change very quickly. So we have started our own first customer strategy back in 2010. And immediately, we have also put together a digital strategy. We have asked all the countries, operating countries, to focus a lot on building digital capability. Then in 2012, we've also realized that we have to immediately invest in technology. So we have put a lot of investment into upgrading the infrastructure that involves the data management infrastructure, the technology, plus also the technology for our e-commerce platform. So now we have a global platform which we can upgrade in much faster speed. We have one global platform for data management, and all analytics, advanced analytics, and the whole database management is done in-house. We have then built our own digital agencies. Now we have not gone through any acquisitions like other retailers where you just acquire a company and there you go. We started to build our own digital agencies called eLab 3 years ago, and started to build a lot of capabilities within the organization. Now, traditionally, we don't run e-commerce, so it's not like we're born with e-commerce operation skill set. So meaning that when you go through digital transformation, it's not about just putting technology in and there you go, it's done. It's not. It's a lot of changes in terms of capabilities, in terms of culture, and we have to also have new strategic alignment as well. So we have put together a very, very clear customer strategy, cultural change, and we are now building machine learning and a lot of advanced analytics and trying to accelerate our social branding as well as O+O opportunities. Again, I'll come back to that O+O. I mentioned about their customer strategy. Why is that important? Every company has a strategy. Now, this is important for the reason that if we want to drive change in a very rapid pace, things need to be simple and things need to be very aligned. This is not a strategy that we ask a consultancy firm to do it for us. Because usually a consultancy firm give you a strategy, it's not quite successful when it comes to execution because you don't have enough ownership in your management. So all our country managers were involved in discussing what are changing, what has been changing in the customer behavior. Besides, we have also done a customer research with all our members. Remember, we have 130 million members. So we've done the research with 140,000 of our customers, asking them, what do you expect from retailers when you shop? The common thing they told us is, one, they want something different. They don't want something without any differentiation, because something that's different, either it's product or experience, something they can share, is shareable. They want us to be anywhere, anytime. If they want to walk into the shop, if they want to talk to us online, on social media, they want to be with us, or they want us to be with them. They want a relationship, and they want experience. So this is their strategy. Now, the importance of that is it helps us to set priorities so that we can change with speed. It also helps us to set alignments with all our business partners, the suppliers, the Procter & Gamble, the L'Oreal, Unilever, Shiseido, Coty, Beiersdorf, Henkel. I'm 100% sure that you pick up the phone and call any one of the CEO and ask them about their strategy, they know about it. This is how aligned we are, because we need them to support us along all these pillars. Some examples just want to show you under this their strategy. When we say we want to be different, we have been really upgrading our stores in a much shorter space of time. Some of the store formats that you can see here, we just launched in Singapore and Taiwan, very different in terms of look and feel, and we have added a lot of surface. When it comes to surface, we actually have 130,000 of our customer service advisors in the store, and gradually we are using technology to change their role. They're not just people doing administration in the store, but they're servicing our customer. Amongst these colleagues that we have 3,800 of them, they are health professionals. So some of these formats like Watson's Health and Watson's Baby, you can find in Hong Kong and other parts of Asia. This is the latest format that we have done. A little bit of experience. We don't have very big size store. We have very profitable store, but still we want to put in some experience in store, because health, pharmacy doesn't need to be really that clinical. This is a Color Lab, a new store that we have created together with L'Oreal in China, a sub-brand that we have built. We're going to roll out in China plus some other parts of Asia. So you can see the massive difference versus the traditional Watsons. And this is a team of makeup artists that we have built and helped to service the customer. This is a store that is in Poland that we are trying out. In a very small city, this store is only 100 square meters. So the customers in this small city with about 6,000 catchment, normally we don't put a store there. But this store, we put that to try, and we only put a quarter of the normal inventory that we used to put. And then besides the products, the customer can then shop on a digital panel, laid out in a usual shelf way. And the next day, she can come back and pick up the other products very easily. So with different model, we try to penetrate into different cities, different catchment, different demographics. This just opened last week. Besides the experience in the store and the service, Dominic has also already mentioned about exclusives. Now this is some of the power brands that we have within our company. We created them. And remember that we have the geographic coverage that we have is so unique. So basically we have a very powerful brand distribution platform. Currently we're talking about 30 billion annual sales for all these exclusive products. And some of you would recognize Aaron Kwok there. He has a men's range with Watsons in China. And this is some of the range in Europe. Besides products, I just also want to show you this massive large-scale events. We have large-scale Zumba dance event in Taiwan, Malaysia, and then we have yoga event in Singapore. Again, this is just to show you the kind of customer connectivity that we have. These are not just any people on the street. These are members. You need to be members. and you need to make purchase of certain amount during that period to get a ticket to join this event. And they join every year, they queue up for the tickets. Now, in terms of technology, it's obviously an enabler for the journey of the digital transformation. So in 2 occasions, we have announced the investment we have put in, total amount of about 1 billion. So we have been putting in, as I mentioned, the data management platform, e-commerce platform, and currently we're working a lot on big data, advanced analytics, going into the year 2020. I mentioned a lot about eLab already. eLab is a team of very young colleagues. They're really young. On average, in my team is about 25. We have about 400 of these digital talents based in Hong Kong, Milan, London, as well as in China. So they focus on digital technology development, focus on digital marketing and social listening, as well as content development. So some of the work they have done in terms of in-store experience, including some of these digital devices in the store, with virtual mirrors and also skin analyzers. This is an example of the virtual mirror that we have put in some of the stores. Not only that the customer can pick a brand and then test the different makeup without putting the makeup on and take a picture, but then it's all connected to the products that we carry. So she can easily click the look she likes and it will show up about 3-4 products that will help you to make that look. So this is, and later in the year, we're going to put a skin analyzer, similar technology, similar experience to help the customers to understand their skin when they come into our store and recommend products to them. In order to transform the role of our colleagues to provide excellent service, if you recall the chart that I show you, because in today's world, the new normal of retail, I call it, you need a lot more experience and excellent service in the store. So we try to put in things like self-checkout so our store team can focus more on the customer rather than just dealing with checkouts. Some of these you have already seen in a few hundred stores in Hong Kong, Watsons and Park and Shop. It's one of the most user-friendly type of self-checkout in the world, according to a social media blogger. Another one that we have is scan and go. So when you shop, you can scan and along the way, and then when you leave the store, you just go to pay in a self-checkout with your mobile payment. A more advanced version of this self-checkout is in China. As you know, in China, everyone uses mobile payment. So the customer walks in the store, just scan the code before entering the store, so we know where she is. And when she shops around, she can easily see, not only for payment, she can easily see the comments and reviews of this product. For example, this Le Swiss Term, 4 stars according to a lot of users. And then the next product she is interested in is a Skin Advance. Oh, there's a 5 stars. So, it must be really good. So then she decided, okay, this is a product I need. And check out, pay on the phone, bye-bye. So this is the scan and go technology that we have introduced in a few hundred stores in China already. Now the last module I want to show you is that it's even better. You don't need to even scan the product. This is we call RFID module. So after you shop, you just put in our checkout counter. It will immediately scan your whole basket, and then you pay, and then you go. So these are just some of the things that we have created through eLab. And we will be putting in store where we think is necessary for the customers and the market is ready for this type of technology. Now, besides these kind of in-store technology, we are trying to also create a community online, as I mentioned. So currently, we have 80 million social media fans. The things I want to mention is this. We have been doing social listening for 2 years now. In the past, retailers have to wait for the manufacturers to tell you what's the trend next year. And then you plan for next year what type of product you stock. Now we don't wait for them. We just go online and find out what is trending. What is trending is if there's a product trending, if there's a niche brand trending, the buying team would have to go and find the products. If there's some keywords trending, because we do search engine and analytics as well, if there's keywords trending, marketing team would have to change all their marketing materials to use that word, so when the customers search for us online, they can find us faster. So this is the way we use social listening. A bit about the data. Early on, I mentioned about 130 million members that we have. So we are using the data science to help us create that interactions that I mentioned. So we have a data lab that help us to create data models for day-to-day analytics that we use in retail business. And then the countries can then take the data model and do it on a day-to-day basis. They continue to create advanced analytics model. We have created this year an AI lab. The AI lab works with a network of technology partners. And every month, we create a user case from our business and ask the technology partner to come up with AI solutions. And we test it every month. If it works, we will start to expand to it. If it doesn't, we will have to change it. So this is something that we are currently doing. Now, what do we actually use the data for? Besides the 130 million data, obviously we have other company data and also the market data. And we use it to build our store strategy, to manage the store performance of every individual of the 14,000 stores. We use it for space planning in the store, assortment planning, and marketing. Now, usually when people talk to you about CRM data, they focus a lot on marketing, but we use it a lot actually for decision making. Now, probably you're wondering what all this means. These are actually textbook wording. You can find it anywhere. So I better give you some examples. So for the store segmentation, every market, we actually segment the store so we can put the right assortment. So besides the catchment data that we use, we also use our CRM data to understand the demographics and the type of customers and the products they need so that we can do our segmentation in a much more accurate way. When it comes to store performance, okay, if there's a new store, we can easily understand where the sales come from. Sometimes, because we open so many new stores, sometimes the sales actually come from another existing Watson store or Superdrug store. We can easily understand from the data that, oh, actually 30% of the sales come from another store, and then we have these from the new customers. And likewise, when we relocate, when we see the performance, we want to relocate store, we can estimate how much sales we can transfer if we close store A and we move to store B. And in terms of assortment, all retailers do assortment review very regularly, half year, annually. They usually, what they do, they cut the tail, the ones that is not so performing in terms of sales and margin. But then, hey, you're missing something, because sometimes your slower moving products, or we call SKU, is actually bought by your VIPs. So every product, we can allocate a loyalty index to it using the data science. So before we cut the tail, we will look into some products to see if the VIPs like it, we better keep it. Because if they don't find one product, they may not come for the other 9 products. So this is the way we use data science. Now, the opportunities that we have found so far in terms of customer shopping with us online and also offline is that the average spending every year is 2 to 3 times more, and the visit frequency double. Higher customer loyalty. What does that mean? If Angeline only shop with us in the store, and then Susan shop with us also online, your spending every year is double. So if you want more details, these are some more details in terms of Asia and Europe. Hong Kong is actually quite high, 3.1 times. UK is 2.5 times. So this is, we continue to monitor this. Now, e-commerce is only just part of the incremental opportunities. But we also have click and collect, as Dominic said, because we have 14,000 stores. Customer can easily do the shopping in midnight when they have time, and then pick up in a store near their workplace. So when they come to collect, we have retrained our staff so that we can sell them more products, or products that is on promotion, or new products. So actually 20 to 30% of the customer who come into the store to collect, they buy extra products. Actually, Taiwan is 52% last month. And in the places like in the Netherlands, actually 56% of the online order, they chose to click and collect in the store. So this is opportunities, meaning they bring traffic back to our stores, and we can get more transactions. We do analytics. This is just an example. We do analytics if what they shop online, and when they come to the store, usually what else do they buy, so that we can adjust our promotion mechanics, and we adjust also our category strategy. I want to also show you the matrix or the unique model that we are able to create then. I talk a lot about e-commerce, click and collect and store. So meaning that with our penetration and with our digital transformation, obviously, it's easy to see, you can shop in our store or you can shop online. And you can pick up your product in the store or we can deliver to you. Now this means that if they choose to shop in so many of our stores in different markets, of course, we can immediately pick up. Even if we don't have the product because it's selling very well. If you're going to London, you buy a Lancôme perfume. Effie Labelle is the top perfume in Paris, and we don't have it during lunchtime. But if you pay in the store, we will deliver to you in the afternoon. It's no problem. Okay? If you shop online, then we can collect. Currently, already, we have turned on 10,500 stores where you can do the collect. Now, turn on means that we have to reset the technology on supply chain and store operations in order to be able to do this. And we will be turning on the rest of the store very soon. But the other point is that we have also started to do picking in the store. So if I pick in the store, after you have done your transaction online, you can come in 30 minutes, like in China. If you want to be delivered, we can also do that. If we pick in the store, can be delivered in 30 minutes. What else technology can do? We also have analytics that can, real-time camera. We monitor the consumer behavior in the stores. Don't worry, it's legal. We only do it legally. The technology allows us to understand how many customers walk in different aisles, how much time they spend in the aisle, how much time they touch the product, and which part of the shelving that they have touched. And why do we need to do that? We can immediately adjust our in-store communications, our space arrangements, so that we can increase the conversion rate in the store. Internally, we also have created different dashboards, make the data much easier for the management team to assess, and then find the trends and make decisions. Now, this is very important. Digital transformation is not just for customers. If the management make decision too slow, it doesn't work. And these are just some other tools, and we have also tools for the store team. Our store team is very, very young. We have already started for 2 years. No more classroom training or menus. They only train on their own smartphone. We have an app for them. We have revised all the contents. It's very easy, Q&A, and everyone can understand very quickly what this new product is about or what is this new skincare regime. This is something interesting I want to show you. This is a social app in China. So what it does is, a staff can easily take a photo. For example, this is a new product that I want to share with my friends. This is an app we created. So they can then easily add a title. For example, here, this is actually my phone. I did the video. Pure Beauty from Korea is as easy as that. And once I did that, I can then share on social media. This is the social role that we have added to the store team, and this is the new value that we have added to the assets that we have. And this is why I shared with you earlier that we have a community of 10 million from the beauty advisors, and in the first 9 months that we launched, the exposure is 100 million. So a lot of them share with the friends and help us to actually bring the traffic to the store. Last but not the least, this is very important. Again, a lot of companies, when they invest in digital, they just focus on the technology. Hey, but what about the people? Early on, I mentioned that we have very young customers. 70% of them are Gen Y and Gen Z, meaning they are 35 years and under. Okay, so they're very young. And likewise, when we have looked into our staff, they're also very young. On average, in Asia, it's 32 years old. In A.S. Watson, in Europe, it's 38 years old. So for these young people, how do we actually get them to help the business to drive growth? So we create a project called 2020. We have got a group of young managers together and ask them, how should we actually talk to you? How do we recruit you? How do we retrain and retain you? So we have been doing all this transformation in the last 2 years. So in conclusion, before transformation, we built a network of stores. Okay. After with digital transformation, we are building customer connectivity through the O+O integrated platform. So this is what A.S. Watson has transformed ourselves to be. So I hope the presentation has helped you to understand A.S. Watson more, has helped you to understand how we are connecting customers, and also the reason why we deliver 15% EBITDA growth in the first half. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Melina. We can start the Q&A session now. May please welcome our top management again.
All right. Okay. Questions? Oh, good.
Hi, Carl Shaw from Merrill Lynch. Thank you very much, first of all, for the very impressive presentation. I have a couple of questions. First, for the retail business, can you talk about how much of your sales are actually generated online or how that percentage has changed over time? And then second, more broadly, I think, Victor, you mentioned also last time for the whole group, you've been making a lot of digital investments, and that those investments might be sort of hurting the margins a little bit in the near term. Can you talk a little bit about, since you are competing with some of these pure online competitors that don't necessarily have sort of profitability in mind, so how do you balance between investments and returns when you make these digital investments?
The digital investments are one-off, but we took them as expense rather than capitalizing it. So in that period, it's just because of our conservative accounting policy. We'd rather expense most of it, that's all. And so we're carrying the overhead this time, but still we're delivering the results. Sorry, I didn't get your first question. Online sales percentage, Dominic?
Well, in fact, we don't take e-commerce or online sales as independent channel. As Melina said, the purpose is to give a seamless journey. To the
The line is very blurred now between
exactly.
online and offline.
Yeah.
I think the more important thing from a bottom line standpoint is the cost of delivery of the goods, including the real estate cost, between online and offline is actually getting very similar.
Yeah.
In some cases, the other way around too. Mainly because we have high turnover. So the real estate cost per square foot may not be the lowest, but in terms of per item of goods sold, it's actually quite cost efficient.
Yeah.
Actually,
Sorry.
what has evenized is that our Watson cards, our CRM customer is more and more become part of our online, because our online, we define online is connected to the customer. How we can promote the customer, how they come in to buy. So that if you ask me, I would say that 62.5% of our revenue come from this type of customers that have a connection with us. They don't just come in and disappear, and then we service them, we talk to them, and through in our shops and through online. So that this is the way that we run our business. We are who we are. We are not somebody else. We are who we are, and then for us, on a worldwide basis, customer connectivities is what we have been concentrating. And this 130 million as a figure will continue to increase.
And just to reinforce one point that Melina made, if we have a digital touch point with a customer, right, on average they buy 2 to 3 times as much from us as a customer with whom we don't have a digital touch point. So is it online, is it offline, does it matter? Right.
Okay. Other questions?